Season 3 of Navigating Senior Life, the Senior Toolbox, with your host, Christina Manzoor. And this season, we're focusing on practical tools that help seniors, caregivers, and families stay safe, independent, and confident. Let's see what's in today's toolbox. Hey everyone, we're going to get started in about 3 minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Christina Manzoor, the host of Navigating Senior Life, Season 3, the Senior Toolbox. And tonight is a live caregiver webinar, and it's helping caregivers assist with a pre-filled medication box safely and confidently. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out of your busy schedules to invest in your caregiver journey. I would also like to say that whether you're caring for a parent, a spouse, a friend, or a neighbor, or clients professionally, that your work truly does matter. And every act of kindness, every reminder, and every moment of patience helps someone maintain their dignity and independence. Today's webinar is completely free. I believe caregivers deserve practical education and support. And we'll spend about 40 minutes together. And then after the presentation, I will have a live Q&A session. And if you'd like, you can put your questions in the chat and I'll answer as many as possible. Or after the presentation, you can raise your virtual hand and I'll call on you. This webinar is also being recorded and will be released as an episode of Navigating Senior Life, the Senior Toolbox, so that others can benefit as well. And if anybody missed the webinar tonight. So I'm going to pull up the presentation. So for an icebreaker, I'd love to know who's joining us today. In the chat, tell us where you're from. And are you a caregiver? Are you a companion caregiver, home health aide, CNA, HHA, or another healthcare professional? It's always wonderful to see caregivers from all over come together. And just a disclaimer before we begin, for educational purposes only, medication assistant laws may vary from state to state, employer, and care setting. Always follow your agency's policies, your client's care plans, and state regulations. Nothing discussed today should replace any instructions from a physician, a pharmacist, or a licensed healthcare provider. Today's webinar is for educational purposes only. So this is medication setup assistance using a pre-filled pillbox, and it's a step-by-step guide, and we're going to go through it together. Now, why does this matter? The instructions help you support a client who already has a pillbox prepared by the client, a family member, the pharmacy, or a licensed professional. What you'll learn is a clear, repeatable routine for assisting each scheduled medication time. The non-medical home care staff you assist and remind, but never administer or decide on the medication. There's 11 steps at a glance. So steps 1 to 2 is to prepare. Obviously, always you want to wash your hands. You gather the pillbox. Then step 3 and 4 is to verify, confirm the day and time, check the component of the pillbox. And steps 5 to 8, you want to assist, open the compartment, set up the medications in front of the client, and give them a reminder and offer water. And then afterwards, you want to observe and report and secure the box and document. So again, phase 1, you want to prepare, wash your hands, and before and after handling the client's pillbox, you want to gather the pillbox and bring it to a clean and safe area. And then you want to verify. You want to verify the correct day and time. They should have their medication list with the pillbox. Check the pillbox carefully to identify the correct day and time. Usually they have AM, PM, or they might have AM, afternoon, evening, and then nighttime. There are so many different types of pillboxes. It depends on which one your client has. And you want to make sure it's the correct time of day in the compartment, and it's also the correct day. Just a real quick example of easy errors that could happen. One time I had a client that I was covering the shift for one of my caregivers, and he was very alert. And you can never assume that they are totally alert, and you always want to be with them just to observe, because I didn't even have enough time. I was cleaning up after breakfast. I was at the sink washing the dishes, and he said he was going to take his pills. And lo and behold, when I came back to check, he took the evening pills instead of the morning pills. And luckily enough, they were the same medications that matched up. Otherwise, it could have been a very stressful day. So you always want to make sure and double check. Assisting them. When it says medication assistance, what you're doing is assisting them with already a pre-filled pillbox. So with that pillbox, you're going to open up the compartment. For example, today's Thursday. You would open up Thursday and it's the evening time. So you would open up the evening time, check with the client against their medication list, and then set up their medications. Maybe they have a little shot glass that they put it in. Maybe they like to have, I've had clients that like to lay out their napkins and you just line them up with a glass of water. And also, when you're setting it up, you place the pillbox or the medications within the client's reach and always follow state regulations and your agency's policy and the care plan. Next, you want to provide them the reminder. You want to put it in front of them and just remind them that it's time to take their medication. A lot of clients, or they might tell you, all right, in a little while, no problem. Just make sure that you go back, you check, and do not leave any medications on a napkin. Offer them water if appropriate. Sometimes they might want to take them with applesauce, so you would just set up like you were setting up for a snack and put it in front of them. Then you want to observe, secure, and document. Observe and report. Watch for any confusion, refusal, if they're having difficulty swallowing the pills, or any concerns. You want to report them immediately to your supervisor or the designated contact. Then you want to secure the pillbox, close the pillbox back up, return it to wherever the client keeps it safely and secure. And then you would document, if you're using one of the apps for your agency, where it says medication reminder, you would just check it off. You reminded them. Or medication assistance with a pre-filled pillbox, you would check that off as well. An important reminder, know your limits. Stay within your scope. Don't ever have a family bully you into doing something or giving something that is outside of your scope. Contact your agency or the nurse. Stay within your scope of practice. Non-medical caregivers may only assist within the agency policy and state regulations. Caregivers may not administer medications or make medication decisions unless specifically authorized. Now, in some cases, in some agencies, there are, it's called a medication assistant aid. Some of you know it as a med tech in the assisted livings, but it is a course. So if you're an HHA or a CNA, or even if you were not and you wanted to take that course, at the end, I can put in the chat a link. I do have a course online for medication assistant aids, or if you want to further your professional development, home health aides, when you take that course, you are then able to take, it's a advanced home health aide certification. And also the difference is if you take this course and you receive a certification or even any online medication assistant aid course. In the facilities, when you become a med tech, you do not get to keep your certificate. The facility trains you, so they usually keep it. But this is something that you yourself can keep forever. Nobody could take it away from you. You just have to, renew it according to New York State regulations. And when in doubt, pause, contact your supervisor or a designated contact. You do not want to make an error. Key takeaways: safe, supportive every time. Follow the 11 steps in order at every scheduled time. When you get yourself on a routine and you get your client on a routine, it goes a lot smoother. And make sure you verify the day and the compartment before you open anything. Remind and support, never administer or decide. Observe, secure, or document every time. Now, some real life scenarios. So if you look at scenario 1, client says, I already took today's pills. Would you give another dose? The correct answer is nope. Check the organizer and follow your agency's policies. If you're unsure, contact a family member, a nurse, or a supervisor before proceeding. Second scenario, today's compartment is still full, but the client insists that they took the medication. Again, avoid assumptions. Follow your care plan and notify the appropriate people if there's any uncertainty. Scenario 3, the client refuses to take the medication. Stay calm. Ask if there's a reason that they don't want to take it. Don't force the medication, and document what happened. Notify the appropriate person or family member. And then again, you want to try 3 times to assist them with the medications. After the 3rd time, and they are adamant about not taking their medication before your shift is over, make sure that you notify somebody. Some caregiver tips. My favorite tips are simple. Slow down. Limit your distractions. Use the same routine every day. Wash your hands, encourage hydration if appropriate, and document properly. And when in doubt, ask. The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. And again, thank you for attending the free live webinar. To continue your professional development, I will be putting links that you can complete a form if you're interested, because I will be doing more throughout season 3 for caregivers. And if you're NHA certified as a PCT, you can use it as your hour credit or a 1 hour of in-service. But I would always recommend check with your agencies about being able to use an outside credit. Give me a second. I'll be right with you and back to that question. All right. So for more info, you can complete the form, the Google Docs, and I'll follow up with any additional resources. Also, the link is here for the online course. And thank you, everybody, for joining me today. So now, live Q&A. Now it's your turn. We're going to move into the live Q&A, and no question is too small. If you're wondering about something, chances are another caregiver has the same question. Okay, one new. All right. Alonda, did you still have a question?
No, as you said, you have to find out if you find out from your agency. But then now, as I think about it, I'm in the hospital, so it's going to be different for me.
Yes, it is, especially with medication, because I don't believe PCTs or they have anybody but nursing to administer the medications there. But if it was like a assisted living or an agency, that's totally different.
Totally different, yeah. That's why I pulled back the question. Like,
that's all right. Okay. All right. I do not see any other questions. Charles, thanks. I see you. Thank you for coming. And as we wrap up today's webinar, I want to leave you with this thought, is that caregiving isn't about completing tasks. It's about preserving dignity, building trust, and helping people live as safely and independently as possible. The patience, compassion, and attention that you bring every day truly makes a difference. Thank you for joining me on the live webinar and soon to be episode published. If you have found today's webinar helpful, please share it with another caregiver. Also, stay tuned for upcoming webinars. And until next time, keep learning. The right tools help caregivers provide the right care, and also keep navigating one day at a time. Thank you.
Please send me the links.